Stampin' Friends. This is Lisa from Live and Let Stamp. And today I'm featuring a brand new online exclusive bundle from the March online exclusives called Rolling Waves. And it's great for those who love the beach, love going to the ocean. This is the stamp set. So it has some great sentiments. You're in my thoughts, bon voyage, thank you, hoping your day is perfect, and happy birthday. And you get these nice texture stamps, which I'll show you how I use those on the cards in the class, because I am offering this as a card class where you can get the kit for free with a purchase, or you can purchase the kit or just the tutorial PDFs. Trying to get my video up here on my Facebook so I can see. Okay. And it comes with a set of dies as well. It is a bundle. And, oh, sorry, with the dies, I didn't use these dies for this card, but I can show you the dies that help make all of these beautiful layers. You can see there's a lot of layers there because you get this die that makes this white layer. You get this die that I used for this vellum layer, and then this really pretty one that I did in a specialty paper is this one that gives you that, you know, like rolling wave kind of action. And then you can cut your bottom paper to the same shape so everything lines up. Well, not everything. These two line up, and then this one makes like an different shape, like, you know, after the waves roll out from the sand. You also get these two dies that help you make these umbrellas. Aren't they cute? And this cuts out the 4 sections, and then you just mix and match them, which is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with different colors when I was designing this card and this kit. So let me show you the other cards that are in this card class. So there's this one with these really pretty shells that are die cut, as well as this paper, which is actually from Beach Time, the Beach Boardwalk DSP that has like the Ferris wheels and carousel. It's this paper. And I'm still trying to get this to come up so I can see you guys. And I'm not sure why it's not working. Anyway, I also used the back of the paper to do some of the shells so you get like a shading. I actually think it's the back of one of the other papers. It's this one that has like the pinks and the peach pie to do these. And then these are just done in solid bubble bath and petal pink, and then some dots there. This one also uses that pretty metallic sheen paper. And I don't know if you can catch the sheen on this as I tip it. It's so pretty. And when I made it, I was like, wow, I bet that would be really pretty as the overlay. So you can see the shininess there on the overlay, and on the back here, it's done with this new embossing folder called Soft Waves. It's a 3D embossing folder. And then there is this one. So this one has our beach umbrella, and then it has a beach towel underneath, which I just cut with scissors to make like a little fringe there, and kind of angled the ocean in this one with some pretty clear dots with some holographic glitter in there to kind of look like bubbles. So this is the card class, and when you order, you get all of the cardstock, you get all of this specialty paper that you're going to need. I do all of the, I give you all of the, anything that's die cut or punched that isn't in the bundle. You do need the bundle to make the cards, but everything else except the ink is provided to you. So you just need ink and adhesive, and I provide you everything else to make these cards. And it's a neat way to try out some of these different papers as well. And I just want to show you this one really quick. So this is that metallic, it's called Pastel Shimmer. And you get the Pool Party that I used. You also get this really pretty Bubble Bath, as well as Lemon Lolly. So really nice spring colors, Easter colors that have that beautiful sheen. But let's go ahead and get into making this card that looks like it is so much work and so difficult, and really it isn't at all. You know, once you have your pieces and you're ready to cut. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start with the card base. So I used crumb cake because I'm thinking, you know, the ocean sand. And we're just going to go ahead and make that a standard A2 size card. So I'm going to take my 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I'm going to cut it in half on the 11-inch side. So that's 5.5. And then I'm going to score that at 4.25. And that'll be my card base. And I'm also going to need a piece that is 5 by 3.75. I do this twice in the class, and on one of them, I went ahead and elevated it with dimensionals so that it kind of sits up off of the card. I really like that look. But for this one, I'm just going to adhere that down because I'm going to get my dimension with the beach umbrellas, which I'm going to put up with the Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's go ahead and get a nice fold on our card base. And we'll just set that aside for now because we're just going to be working with this. So for this, there is a stamp of like some sand. So let me get my stamp set. And the sand is right here. And I'm going to get my block. It just needs a small block. This is the G block. And I'm using crumb cake. My crumb cake is picking up from the backing, but I'm not ordering a new one because next year, brand new designed stamp pads. They'll actually be available this year for the new in colors. They have a magnetic top. They're a little bit thinner. I love them. So if you have difficulty with your hands getting these opened and closed, if you have arthritis or finger issues, the magnetic tops just pop off and pop back on. They look fantastic. Stampin' Up's also going back to away from the foam ink pad and back to what they had originally with the like felt ink pad. So excited about that. Next year it'll be available for all of them, and they're going to do a color refresh as well. And this year that new style will be available with the in colors that are coming in. Whoa, it helps to put that down. Have you ever stamped backwards? I have. So I know I'm going to need this about halfway down. So I'm just going to start just doing some ink, and I just kind of, you know, stamp and move it around so it's not all the same color. And it also kind of gives it a look where like it's washing as the waves are going in and coming out. It's like leaving ripples in the sand, which I thought looked really cool. So I live about a 30-minute drive from the a beach, and I never go. I'm not a beach person. But I have a lot of friends who love the beach and go a lot. So this is going to make perfect cards for them. There we go. Like that. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and put together our layers. This is Pool Party, and I did it in that Waves embossing folder, and then I cut it with that die, and these are all the pieces I'm going to need. So this is going to go on top of that. You see how it matches up perfectly? I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this. Yeah, I was just checking. It's shiny on both sides. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to put it there. And then I'm just going to dot it here and there where there's a nice big intersection that has enough to hold some adhesive drops. Just a few dots here and there. And then maybe here, and then we're going to put that on. Matching it up. Okay. So you can see it's a perfect match. It goes off the side. We're going to trim that off with our snips. The next layer that goes on top is this layer with the bubbles. I look at these as bubbles, and you can see through them to the pretty metallic underneath. And this is just your basic white. I don't like when the adhesive shows through, so try to carefully dot it where it's not going to spread and show through any of those little dots. I mean, it dries clear, it's perfectly fine. But, okay. Now let's get that on there. With liquid glue, you have a little bit of time to move it around. And even if it's not perfect, it still looks really good. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and trim that. And I like to trim from the back because it's kind of easier to follow this line as I trim. And nothing sticks out on this side. Okay, so here I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of, actually, let's just go ahead and put that aside and make our beach umbrellas. So to do our beach umbrellas, I cut out 2 of this one in white, and then I cut the one that does the pieces 3 times, once for each color that I wanted. And then I just experimented with what colors I liked together. And what I came up with was this one. Just use a little liquid glue there. And put that right on, line it up. actually for this one, it's completely filled in. I didn't leave any white. So you could also just put adhesive there. But I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. When I made the sample card, I did just put some tape runner, Stampin' seal on it. But this way you have a little bit of time to move it if you're not real happy with where you put it. I love how they have the guidelines here like this. And on the next one, that becomes really important because I did leave a white space and you want to be able to get that inner piece lined up. This one lines up pretty well. Oh, that's not, oh yeah, it is. That's the inside. So that's one of our umbrella tops. And then for this one, I did the blueberry bushel. By the way, this is Summer Splash over here and Peach Pie along with blueberry bushel. You will get all the pieces of cardstock in the kit to cut out all of these pieces with your dies. So I left a ring of white here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna put on the inner piece first. And this is in the blueberry bushel. And I'm gonna line up all the lines. And that ensures that it's perfectly in the center. You can see all the lines in there. And then the inside, the next ring coming out is in the Summer Splash. Had to use Summer Splash in a beach card. So I do love looking at the ocean. I just don't like swimming in it, all the sand. We definitely visit the ocean when we go to like Iceland. You don't swim in that ocean. Some places you don't even get near it because the sneaker waves can come in and wash you out to sea. But they're pretty. So here are beach umbrellas. So the reason I wanted to go ahead and do this is because I'm probably going to need to trim a little off the top of our piece that we're doing the ocean on. Let's go ahead and glue on this vellum. So vellum was really big back when I started card making 20 years ago. And then it kind of went out of fashion. You didn't see a lot of vellum, but vellum is back and you can buy vellum from Stampin' Up. And I will tell you, it's a fantastic quality. It's thick. So it die cuts really, really well, which is wonderful. So I just want this peeking out a little bit at the bottom. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just gonna put some glue along here, along the bottom. And then this doesn't fit any like pattern. So now I'm gonna turn it over. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. I'm gonna need to trim a little bit off the edge, which is fine. So this to me was that little shadow, or I don't know what to call it, when the waves come in and then they go out and then they leave like this mark in the sand. That's how I see this. Now, I didn't want my umbrella to be in the water, over the water. So I want to move this so that it's just barely gonna overhang, like right there. Okay, and so I'm gonna cut this off about right there where I put my thumbnail. So I wanna make sure this is a straight cut. So I'm gonna bring in my cutter. And there's the little mark I made. And it really doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but I want it somewhat straight. Okay, let's see how that looks. Also need to trim the sides off of this vellum just a smidge. Right there. And there. Let's see how we did. So I'm going to put this right at the top, and I think that's going to work great. All right, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Seal here. This is an embossed piece, so embossed pieces have a little bit of, you know, it bends the paper a bit. Put a little liquid glue there on the vellum. So I use a lot of adhesive on that so I don't get any buckling from the paper. And that's gonna go right there. Isn't that cool? So cool. Now, we're gonna be putting these on. I'm going to, let's go ahead and put this on our card front that we set aside earlier. So here's the fun part where I get to figure out where I put it. Okay, there's our Stampin' Seal. And here's our card piece. Decide which side I like better. Just center that. Okay. Now I'm going to glue on the sentiment. Whoop, not upside down. Right there, kind of close to the edge. It's almost kind of like a happy birthday beach towel. And then let's put some dimensionals on here. I'm going to use the mini dimensionals. I'm going to put 3 on each. And I'm going to overlap the happy birthday just a little bit underneath our umbrella. And then put on our other umbrella. Like so. So pretty. Last but not least, these are Dear Dots, and they have pool party dots, which is perfect. So I'm going to put a large one right there, and then 2 small ones. One, let's do it there, and another small one here. Just to add a little something to it. And that's our card front. For the inside of the card, we're going to use our stamp set and just decorate it just a little bit in the corners. So we're going to be using the 3 shell pieces. So, I'm sorry, the starfish. There's a trio of starfish. And there's a clamshell duo, and then this conch shell stamp. We're going to use our crumb cake. And let's go ahead and put our starfish. That looks great. Starfish in this corner. And then these two shells here. And this one, tiny, tiny one, maybe right here. And we will go ahead and add that inside our card. And there it is, all finished. Not difficult at all, easy to cut out, easy to put together, but looks so fancy, so fancy. So let me just show you those cards once again in the card class. If you have any questions, please contact me. And I hope you enjoyed watching the video today. I look forward to hearing from you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.